profile, post-galactic warfare. And here's the man himself, Bardock, aka Mass Saiyan. Then on the other side, you got Bardock Unbound by Darkness. So let's get this thing going. Put him right over here for you guys. You can see him. Let's even that out a bit. There you go. Alright, we'll start off with the red cards. First up is a new card from the newest set is Intensifying Power Trunks. Auto, when this card attacks, you may choose one card in your life, add it to your hand. If you do so, this card gains 10,000 power and critical. This card's an MVP. Early, mid, and late game. Just so good. Just being able to, for a one drop, just throw them out there and put some early pressure on your opponent. Really good combos with another card I'm about to show you guys in a little bit. But yeah, run for him for sure. So put him over here. Next up, we are going to be running a staple in pretty much all Bardock decks, Mass Saiyan decks. We're going to be running 4 Furthering Destruction Champa. When you combo with this card, choose one of your attacking cards against Double Strike. So yeah, that's going to be good for applying pressure with your Double Strike crits. It puts Bardock at 25k Double Strike crit if he ends up milling a red and a black. And then it also puts your Trunks, the Trunks I just showed you guys, at 25k Double Strike crit if he's able to pull a life. So yeah, another great card. Also use him with multiple other cards in this deck, not just the Trunks and the leader. Next up we have excuse me. We have Bodyguard Legic. Let me guys know what you guys think that name is, Legic or Legic. Blocker, permanent. When your opponent has battle cards in their battle area and you have no battle cards in your battle area, you can play this card from your hand without paying its energy cost. So basically, you throw them out there. Your opponent has a card, you have no card, you throw them out there. If you have a card, he's energy. Just pretty much plain and simple, cut and dry. Yeah, so for him, always good to see. Mid to late game, especially if you can't find any counters. Next card we run is another pretty much staple nowadays for the Bardock decks. Is the Unbreakable Super Saiyan Son Goku. When a card evolves into this card, or if you combo with this card, you draw a card. Now, it's pretty good for late game for pushing, because it lets you draw cards. Pretty much a super combo for 1 cost. And it's really good, especially because if you've already teamed it up with a Champa, now you're giving them an additional 10k plus another additional combo, or potential combo I should say. So yeah, it's really good for late game pressure. For early game, it's more just to help you draw into what you need. I've also found it useful as just energy. So yeah. Next is, this card could easily be replaced with the level 2 red critical Trunks GT. And this card is Vados Assistance. Negate the attack, then you may switch up to one of your battle cards to active mode. Combos really well with the Bodyguard. That's only if you're playing against a more laid back style of player. Someone that's going to actually counter you out and out combo you early game. So you'll have these, just store these up for late game, like against Universe 7 or excuse me, anything like that. Any type of deck that revolves around that. So this is easily you could switch these out easily for those level 2 crit Trunks. Just because those level 2 crit Trunks, you can either use them as energy, or you can combo them with another card that I have in this deck. So yeah, I main the Vados Assistance just because there's not a lot of attack heavy decks anymore. in the meta. You still have like Bio Frieza and Universe 7. Universe 6, you would probably swap out for the Crit Trunks, but it just depends on how your opponent plays, pretty much. So just get used to the way your opponent plays, and then make the educated decision to swap out. But for the last red cards, there's only two of them, and it seems like everybody's been catching on and using these. But it is Miraculous Comeback Ultimate Gohan, Double Strike permanent. If you have 3 or less cards besides this card in your hand, reduce the energy cost of this card in your hand or battle area by 4. So it essentially turns him into a level 2, which does combo well with another card in this deck. And when this card KOs your opponent's battle card, inflict 2 damage to your opponent. So it's like, go ahead and block me. I really don't care. So, because I'm just going to run you over anyways. I'll push, run you over, and then you're going to have to pull 2 no matter what. So, yeah, I only run 2 just because I don't really want to see it all too much, and it hurts my feelings whenever I put it in for energy. But yeah, 2 Miraculous Comeback Ultimate Gohan. And that is it for the reds. Just going to slide these over. Okay. And now for the blacks, we run 4 of the Time Control Cronoa. She has Deflect, so she can't be affected by counterplays. And when you play this card, draw 1 card, and your opponent may not play battle cards from their hand with the skills of cards with super combos. So pretty much it just shuts down Shugesh. That's all it does. Really good against Mecha Frieza. And also it's pretty much like the Black's version of Majin Buu, just with the ability to shut down Shugesh. And it's really good early game. Helps you draw through the deck. If you have an extra mana, why not? It's just another card in your hand. Plus you can combo with it. It's just really good. So run 4. It's pretty much going to become a staple in all black decks now. Pretty much any deck that wants to get rid of Shugesh. Next up, we have, of course, another staple. Supreme Kai of Time, World's Protector. It's the super combo. Everybody knows this card. When you combo with it, if there's 5 or more, should put the shiny one in front. Look at that. Yeah. When you combo with this card, if there are 5 or more cards in your warp, draw 1 card, and this card gains 10,000 combo power for the duration of the turn. Nothing else needs to be said about this card. Staple at 4. You could start using it on turn 1, actually, if you were able to combo enough cards and get enough cards in your drop area. So, it's really good. Next up, we have this card. I only run 1 of, just because I could be running something else, but I just want to give it a try, just because it's a new card, and that is Time's Choice Supreme Kai of Time. Supreme Kai of Time. Overrealm 3. When you play this card using Overrealm, you look at up to the top 3 cards of your deck, choose 1 battle card from among them, add it to your hand, then place the remaining cards on the bottom of your deck in any order. So basically this helps you search out your Champas, it helps you search out your Gokus, your super combos, pretty much any cards you need that you need a combo with. That's what this card's going to be doing. And it's 15k, so it can push at an awakened leader. So it's not that bad. I'm actually thinking about running more of these. Let me know what you guys think about this card. But yeah, right now I only run 1 just to test it out. Next up, I run 2 of the Time Patrol Trunks. Pretty much the same thing. It's just you can choose to put the cards, both of the cards on the bottom of the deck, both of the cards back on top of the deck, or you could put 1 card in your hand and then 1 card on top, or you could put 1 card in your hand and 1 card on the bottom. So it essentially gives you just more choices of what to do with the remaining cards, but it just gives you 1 card less to look at. Still a really good card. I'm thinking about taking them out for the Supreme Kai time just to see how they're going to do in this new meta. But yeah, so 2 of those. Alright, next up, guys, I'm going to be talking about the card I was talking about earlier that you can combo with your level 1 and level 2 Trunks, also with the Gohan, especially if you have, 3 or less cards in your hand. The Gohan counts as a 2 while he's on the field, so this card will also help that card out if you want to get like a late game push in. And that card is Dark Rejuvenator Toa. That's right, this card, when you play this card with Overrealm, choose up to 1 of your battle cards with an energy cost of 2 or less and switch it to active mode. Yeah, so you get, and we run 4 of her, pretty much you get, on turn 2, if you throw out a level 1 crit Trunks, you push for the crit. Usually if it's early game, it'll go through because the opponent won't care about 1 card, but then you break her out, bring her out, and then untap that Trunks, and then you're able to swing again. It's pretty much like doing double strike with crit, just because it's just so good. It just stands them back up. It also combos with the level 2 Trunks because she targets anything that's level 2. And late game, if you don't have a lot of cards in your hand, then you can also target the Gohan and do a possible quadruple strike. So it's just really good with this deck. Yeah, that's why I run her at 4. So let me know what you guys think about that. I'm going to move on to our level 4s now. And this one is pretty much, it speaks for itself on why you would run it in here. It is the level 4 Mirror from the Darkness. Overrealm 4. When you play this card using Overrealm, it gains critical for the duration of the turn. Yeah, you're going to run 4 of these in here. Yeah, so pretty much you just bring him out. He's 20k, critical, and then if you swing in with him and combo with a Champa, now he's 30k double strike crit, and it's just a nightmare and a headache and a half for your opponents to deal with, because if they don't want to take the double strike, then they're going to be wasting cards in their hand, and they're not going to want to do that. So yeah, this is a really good card for this deck. Combos well with everything. Next, we're going to be running, of course, one of my favorite cards, Trunks Power Overseeing Time. Overrealm 4, tap 2, so he's a little expensive, but if it's late game, you can push with him. He's a double strike off the bat, so if your opponent only has 2 life, I mean, he's going to make them waste cards. When you play this card using Overrealm, choose up to 1 battle card in your warp, add it to your hand. So you're going to be getting a super combo. You're going to be getting Champa. You're going to be getting a Trunks. You're going to be getting anything that you need in order to push for game right then and there. I run 4 of them just because I want to guarantee see at least 1 or 2 per game. And actually, this card comes in clutch mid to late game. So if you see it early, you might want to throw it back. But from my experience, I've always at least kept 1. If I get it in my hand early, I'll keep 1. And I'll use it on either turn 3 or turn 4. And that's whenever this deck usually pushes hard for game. So yeah, I run 4 of those. Next up is the new promo Bardock. Desperate Onslaught Bardock. Overrealm 5, critical, so he comes equipped with critical. You don't have to overwhelm him for the critical. He just comes equipped with it. When this card attacks during your turn, you play it with Overrealm. Your opponent may not combo with battle cards in their battle area or activate blocker for the duration of the battle. Really good card. I mean, I want to bump it up to 3 or 4 and then maybe bump the mirror down to 3 or 2, just because this card right here, he makes it to where your opponent it limits them from comboing and they can't block him. So it's just a really good card to have. Right now I only have 2, only pulled 2 from the promo packs that I got from the boxes. But yeah, it's just a really good card. So I'm running 2 right now, and then this is for kind of like a field presence. Um, if your opponent doesn't have a lot of barrier, he'll get over it. But it is Dimensional Banisher Fu from the new set. Overrealm 5, tap 1. He's double strike, and when you play this card with Overrealm, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards and send it to their warp. So it doesn't matter what level. It's just a really good card to have, especially if you're going up against like a Universe 7 deck or Universe 6. Basically anything that doesn't have barrier is going to be gone. And I run 3 of them. Think about bumping it 1 down and running one of the level 5 Mass Saiyan, the one that gets rid of Veggie Package. But I'm probably gonna side that card just for in case I go against Veggie Package. But this is a really good card to have, just for its clearing ability. So run 3 of those, and that's actually the whole deck, guys. Now I'm gonna get into some side deck, and the side deck that I use, I run 4 of the new minus kill zone, activate main. It's a 0 drop, so you play your mana, you play this, you pay your energy, you just drop this. Activate main, send 3 cards from your drop area to your warp, draw 1 card, and your opponent may not activate counterplay skills for the duration of the turn. So it shuts down if you go up against Frieza or a yellow Frieza, Ginyu, or any deck that runs Crusher Ball. It shuts that down so that way you can get your plays out. Run 4 of those just because they're free, and you get to draw a card, and the leader himself mills 3 for that card effect. So if worst comes to worst, you mill for that. You mill, play the minus kill zone, and then you tap your energy for, say, either a Trunks or the new girl that shuts down Shugesh. So that's one side. That's 4. The other card I use in my side in case I go up against Mecha Frieza, because that's this deck's greatest arch nemesis is the Mecha Frieza, just because of the Shugesh and the Cold Bloodlust and the Crusher Balls. It's just stuff that you don't want to see. And if you can shut down the Shugesh early game, then you pretty much cripple that deck to the point where it forces itself to use the mana, and you can't just play the cards for free anymore. So I run the Toki Toki Time Creator. He has Deflect, so he can't be Cold Bloodlusted or Crusher Balled. It doesn't matter if he's Crusher Balled anyways. When you play this card, you may place it on the top of your deck. If you do so, choose up to 1 black battle card with 3,000 power from your deck and play it, then shuffle your deck. So he essentially looks for your time Cronus? Her. Time Chronoa. Searches her out. So that way it guarantees a Shugesh shutdown. So like I said, I only use this if I go up against Mecha Frieza or any deck that mains Shugesh. Next is Umbral Invitation Toa. Basically, she's Dark Overrealm. If you have 4 darks in your graveyard, or if you have 4 darks in your drop area, you tap 1, you send all of them to the warp, bring her out. Anything that's a level 3 or lower, 1 card that's level 3 or lower without barrier is pretty much yours for the rest of the game. You can use it however you want. It's really good, and I cite it because just in case I go up against a deck that has a lot of field presence, I can take their cards and use them against them, especially if they have really good effects. So yeah, that's why I run her. And last but not least is the Quick Rush Trunks. That's right, this is the card I was telling you about, the 2-drop critical GT Trunks. He's pretty good. I prefer, like I said, running the negates, just in case I go up against a deck that likes to negate me, so that way I can have some type of resistance in the end game, which they like to stall me out to do. But this card is in case you go up against another deck that likes to push really hard. You swap out those counters for this card, and it helps speed the deck up with the attacking, especially because the other Toa that untaps it, it's a level 2, so it untaps it. So it's pretty much like another double strike crit. And unless they have a negate, there's nothing they're gonna do about it, or if they out combo you. But then they're wasting cards in hand, which is what you want in the first place. So yeah, that's the deck profile. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Leave a comment down below about what you think. Give me suggestions on if you think I can add or take something out that might make the deck better. I'm always open for suggestions. And yeah, this has been BC from LTC. Thank you guys for watching. And remember to like and subscribe.